Orchid, but if Oracle's well positioned, then he can almost always protect the guy that Storm does eventually go on. So that's going to make it pretty hard for Team Empire to have the Storm go out of control. But who knows, maybe they can put Team Spirit on the back foot and make those conditions happen.
I mean, that's the hope if you're an Empire fan for sure, but it's definitely a bit of an uphill struggle. Hopefully, they know something that we don't. So we're going to go right over now into the rune timing. And see, you've got a lot of people in position here, looking to skirmish. Smiling Knight's gonna go run forward there, grab up the rune, and that's it.
Not bad. That was kind of convenient there for Empire, just sitting slightly outside of vision, so Team Spirit didn't know exactly where they were all located. So the Nature's Prophet on the other side of the map is able to squeak out that extra bounty run, so that'll be nice. And yeah, Earth Spirit going top as expected. See how well they can do pressuring the Oracle. That's another place that they could potentially do really well here for Empire is in the offlane. Oracle looks a little vulnerable here, especially if he gets jumped on. They have Orb of Venom already on Earth Spirit, so between Treants and right-clicking him, Ursa's not going to be able to do that much to stop this the first couple levels, so Moposha's got to be careful.
You can see already Moposha trying to sit far back, trying to get off a little bit of that harass, but definitely trying not to put himself in the position where Seiu's going to be able to just put that harass. In fact, we do see a little bit of harass coming out here, but Yatoro immediately responding, being able to take advantage of the root coming out from Moposhka. 9 stacks already on the Storm Spirit. Oof, that feels bad.
It's fine. Look, he's got a 10 stick though, so I mean he got 9 stacks, but he's still got more last hits than the Bat Rider. So as long as he doesn't give his opponent an opportunity for this, it's fine. He gets 2 slightly before his opponent too, so it'll be okay. Windranger pretty low on the bot lane though. It's like there is 1 more Fire Spirit left, so he'll be fine, of course. But
definitely doesn't feel good though. You don't want to be chewing through all your regen too early, and you don't want to be getting chased away when you're trying to make things happen. But again, you've got, the Phoenix is very much engaged with you and not your offlaner there, so I guess you have to be pretty happy as long as you don't go down.
Yeah, I think the rough thing is he doesn't have a self, so with only tangos, it's going to take him a while to get back up on regen.
He's got to run back anyways. It's fine. He'll have plenty of time to regen as he goes back to lane.
By the time he gets back to the lane, he's going to have approximately 35% HP, and that's also going to feel dangerous. But at least it does buy a little time for the Underlord to get towards level 2, like you said.
Get those levels online for Collapse over here, and just try to be as annoying as possible to Smiling Knight. I've been noticing this trend with the CIS games recently that, the CIS I remember was that there was a lot of fighting super early on, and it feels like nowadays we're seeing just much more passive sort of play style coming out from them. What's changed so much with this purge?
Just basically that teams understand that you can't just outskill your opponents all the time, kind of a thing, that people are used to that kind of aggression now. As time goes on, people just get more and more used to all these different varied playstyles. So eventually it's going to distill down towards more standard Dota where you have to play correctly and make the right moves and that kind of stuff. So, and also just the skill level improves as time goes on. The weaker players get rooted out. Why do you think I got kicked out of Zephyr, guys? So you take out the bad players, add good ones. Those players are going to be more and more careful, and you have to keep upping your game constantly.
Oh, poor Purge. It's okay, buddy.
You're supposed to laugh. Come on.
I don't know, between you and BSJ recently, BSJ talking about parties that he's not invited to, you're talking about being washed up from Zephyr. I sit next to Kyle most of my days too, I'm getting worn down. But it's fine, it's fine. I'm excited to watch, these other, younger players too. You've got Toronto Tokyo here. He is definitely proving his worth recently.
He's doing pretty good so far. 10-3 versus Storm, slightly higher, 13-2, so Storm's pretty content for now. All the lanes just looking pretty even across the board. Prophet last hits a little bit low, but he's probably been spending a lot more time right-clicking enemy heroes.
Are we a little concerned with the fact that, yes, most of the CS is pretty even when we take a look at it, but the Ursa is going to come online faster than this Wraith King. Are we at all concerned about that for the side of Empire?
I don't fully agree. In fact, if you look at his items, he's got a phase boots queued up into an armlet. That is the de facto early Wraith King fighting build. And so sometimes I'm not the biggest fan of Midas into Radiance builds because they do slow you down a little bit, even if it does guarantee you farm later in the game. If you go a phase plus armlet build, your damage is really, really high early on, and then he's going to come online way before Ursa will. So, you know, Ursa can't fight for that long taking these slaps from Wraith King, especially if Wraith King kind of weaves in and out of the fight. And that's why FaZe is so good on the hero too.
Is that too much of a gamble, though? Because I know in the past, like listening to Kyle, he really hates seeing stuff that's not necessarily going to scale as well as something like a Radiance on this Wraith King.
Well, that's the nice thing about the Armlet build, is that Armlet's a stupidly cheap item. It only costs like, what, 2,300? That's almost 2,500 gold right now. But if you compare that to a Midas, which gives, let's double check, 2,200 gold, Armlet's like 275 gold more expensive. And Armlet gives you almost as much attack speed as Midas does. It's 25 versus 40, not to mention the, you know, like 60 something damage and the 9 armor. So there's a lot of really good things that Armlet does that's still going to make your damage fine and not be that expensive. And then you just buy Radiance afterwards anyways, if you really want to. So it's like you could basically fight more early game, transition better. Maybe you won't accelerate as fast, you won't have as many levels, but in terms of his ability to get pressured, his ability to like impact team fight outcomes, it should be a lot higher, at least for that period before the Radiance comes online. And maybe he'll just lane way better against Underlord. That's another important thing, because he's going to have regen from the Armlet.
That is
true. Or at least the
true.
Armlet components.
Yeah, typically those melee heroes really do not enjoy having a good time against the Underlord. Also allow him to kind of stay in lane a little bit longer because he's used to, you know, a lot of the times the cores will just rotate out of the lane and the tower goes down fairly early when you do have this big chonky boy down there. But
yep.
I like it. I like the fact that they're being very adaptive. They're, you know, thinking about their long term. And we'll see if it pays off for them, because our panel did not seem like they were very sold on what Empire had drafted.
Yeah, I mean, understandably, there's some certain issues in their lineup that could be problematic, but right now the game is even, and Storm has been laning completely fine. He's winning his lane by a lot, actually 28 versus 16, and this is something I don't know if the panelists anticipated, and as a result, like, we could have a very different game outcome than we expected to see here, especially to see what Storm does with his potential rotations.
I haven't seen any of those just quite yet. Of course, we are only sitting at level 5, and I'm sure with like the 5-minute runes coming up, we will start to see a little bit more action. That seems to be the signal for go time for a lot of these teams, where they start to place themselves in the line of fire, trying to make sure they grab up bounty runes, and they've got a couple levels online too, so they can do a little bit more.
Yep, it's a two-pronged thing. You want to decrease your opponent's net worth by stealing those bounties, but also find opportunities to take little skirmishes that are a little bit more straightforward. So you know that your opponents are going to be there, so if you bring 2 heroes over, it's pretty easy to get kills. Now, Storm is usually going to jungle a lot and be a little bit passive, but depending on which runes he gets, I think those are maybe the bigger changers. If he gets arcane runes, regens, double damage, basically any rune on Storm is insanely good. So if he could use those to get some early kills on some supports or an Ursa, I'm sure he'll go for it.
Yeah, I feel like the spirits just, you can't go wrong with any of those runes, typically when they pop up. So perhaps that's one of the reasons why we've been seeing so much of them being played currently in this patch too, you know?
Yep.
Fits perfectly into the role.
Storm's working on some stacks now. This will accelerate him a bit. Batrider is level 6 though, so Batrider's still doing quite fine. He's short up the net worth a little bit.
Then the bottom lane collapse. It looks like he's going to do some collapsing himself, because Eknart will be able to get himself that first blood kill. Nice rotation.
Underlord just can't defend himself double early. Ooh, dive
Patashara? No. Can't outrun that fire, my friend. It just eats up trees alive.
It's really nice. They just save Fortune's End basically to interrupt the TP if needed, and Batrider gets a kill without using Flaming Lasso, which is a huge deal. If you guys forgot, 120-second cooldown on this ability right now, so it's really long. But Batrider can certainly kill lots of heroes without needing to use it, so just saving it's going to be great. Give him better chance to kill the Storm. Smoke coming bot, though.
They're looking to make plays yet again, just making sure too that they can go and really secure Smiling Knight's farm, as it gets a little aggressive here. They don't have any... Doesn't seem like they know that anyone's here. Smoke does wear off though, of course. Having the Wind Ranger, they'll be able to stun her up. Immediately try to run away. Collapse can only do so much. He's just going to be able to throw out the Firestorm, but so bad will go down.
They're ready to fight down here. I mean, Wraith King has 3 points in Mortal Strike. This is really different. Most people will max out Vampiric Spirit relatively fast. You get more skeletons, and that accelerates your farm speed, but he wants to just do as much damage as possible in these skirmishes. That's why he's running forward to getting these slaps in, why he's buying things like Armlet, so that he can affect this lane outcome, not just be a passive farmer. Just kind of what they need to do. If they keep killing their opponents like this, it's going to get them ahead and limit their options when they want to get aggressive too. Another stack done by Earth Spirit here. Storm Spirit has a DD, by the way. He's queuing up Orchid as well, so they're on a pretty good path. He's got 20 last hits over the Batrider right now as Storm Spirit at 7 minutes. It's like really quick farming.
It seems really interesting, too, when you consider the fact that, you know, you've got this Wraith King in the bottom lane, but he's actually the one making more of the moves. He's getting more of the kills because they send down the Earth Spirit. Typically, I feel like you see that action over into the mid lane, right? Or that you'd be seeing, you know, your Storm Spirit kind of making these rotations, especially when he gets these particularly nice runes.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that, but the difference maker is that they've been focusing a lot on stacking to accelerate his Orchid timing, and because of that, Storm's jungling, and therefore isn't available to get those kills. So it's a lot easier in this circumstance to have a strong carry.
Well, you know, we're talking about it, but he does make his own rotation up to the top lane. They don't have anything to go and cancel it out. So even though Gwynblade has himself that nice double damage rune, it's just not enough damage. Ursa's going to be able to TP away. But this is time that he's not in lane. He's not hitting creeps. So I think you're still pretty happy with that. So bad.
Not all terrible for Storm.
He wants it, but is forced to pick it up. Poshka making his own rotation. Toronto, Tokyo. Trying to go over there. It's not quite fast enough just yet, so he's going to allow so bad to just get a little plink off, but I think you're a little sad you lost that, but not the end of the world.
Yeah, I'm sure Team Spirit's going to feel a little bit pressure now because this DD that came top and didn't successfully kill the Ursa also transitions into a really easy tower kill with help from the Nature's Prophet. So the pressure that Team Empire is putting out is looking really strong right now. And on the Team Spirit side, they're buying some time and they're slowly getting the boots of travel on Batrider, but they're not really getting that many kills. And their networks are starting to lag behind just a little bit.
Would you like to see Toronto, Tokyo just... all right, we've got some really nice stacks over here on the side. Coming out, top lane, Yatoro, he needs help, he needs a friend, and his friend is just a little bit too late, so bad. Showing up, but not being able to save him here.
What a huge kill there by Storm Spirit. Ursa's Enrage was 1 second away from being off cooldown at the moment he died. Very close to surviving there. And just reminding everybody that Storm does a huge amount of damage, especially when he's level 9 here. Prophet ulti also came through very clutch to help deal damage. So massive kill there on the Empire side. I'm sure the analysts are really happy they didn't make any bets on the panel right now.
No, they're not Kyle. They wouldn't do that to themselves. But yeah, you know, that Nature's Prophet, he is a fantastic hero. I'm surprised that we haven't seen more of him recently, just because of the fact he does have this global presence. His ultimate Wrath of Nature just does so much damage early on. It just seems like a great choice here and really puts pressure on the map. You know, they talked a lot about the mobility coming out on the side of Team Spirit, right? The fact that you do have, you know, a Batrider. You've got this Underlord who's going to be able to just rotate, bring the entire team along with him should they all decide they want to go. But you've also got this mobility coming out from the side of Empire, right? You've got the Earth Spirit who's going to be able to roll in. You've got a Storm Spirit who can just zip-zap all the way over. And, of course, the Nature's Prophet. Eknard, though, down here, only level 5, doesn't have that egg just yet. But Poshka will make sure that they get the kill. Felt like Collapse wasn't 100% sure there for a second. But the Courier goes down here, so...
Yeah, he'd used his dive on the Underlord in the lane for some reason, maybe to apply Fire Spirits, and as a result, the gank was really easy to get. So even though he saw them coming with his ward, they just walked up and they used their spells. So a little bit of a mistake there. I didn't see the context of the dive. Maybe it was needed, but either way, he's got Tome of Knowledge ready to go, so he's going to pick up level 6. They can certainly fight here. I think the Armlet's coming. Yep, Armlet finished now in Wraith King, and he's got Chip Vest, so he has a huge amount of damage that he can impact in fights. And I am pretty darn certain they're going to defend this tower if they need to. But right now, sitting smoked in the mid lane with Storm as well as Earth Spirit. They don't end up finding a hero, so they're just going to lane normally, but at any moment they can group up and take fights and probably have a good shot at winning them.
Well, there is some pressure being placed down here by Collapse. Eknard doing the best he can to just try to push them off of the tower, but there is a Cardi here, of course. I do like this build, though, that we're seeing coming out from the Wraith King. It's a lot different from, you know, some of the Wraith Kings that we've seen in the EU region that tend to be more of the, I don't want to say passive, but, you know, more farm-orientated, that they're going to, you know, just accelerate further later on into the game, thanks to that itemization.
Yeah, it has ups and downs. I think it can be very effective for sure in games like this. Like, imagine him fighting Ursa right now.
Yeah.
He can walk in, get a slap, disengage, wait till ulti comes out, then go back in and commit. Like, it gives him, and he's got so much more estimated hit points because of the HP and the armor increase from Armlet. So getting into a skirmish or an early fight is absolutely going to be a good thing for Wraith King. And he does queue up Radiance next. He's got only 700 gold into it, but for now, he's super ready to fight if his team is down. But we'll see a little bit of slow until Storm Spirit finishes his Orchid, and then we'll probably see another rotation. He's pretty close.
I would really like to see Toronto, Tokyo get a little bit more active here. What do you think?
he could try, I suppose. But again, their opponents have really strong team fight. There's no way Ursa's going to want to take an engagement. He doesn't have Battle Fear yet. In fact, he's only got a Claymore right now, so he's pretty far behind where he would like to be. So yeah, maybe they're going to pressure down here, but unless they can get a really good engagement, it's hard. Like, their team fight is relatively weak, and this is one of the issues with Windranger as a hero and why her win rate doesn't always feel that strong.
Oh, look, the teleports are coming out immediately. Aknar gonna try to run away, uses the egg. They don't have an egg hitter here, as Toronto Tokyo is forced to run away, and we can see Puchar making his way over. Wants to get this kill on Toronto Tokyo, and they're gonna be able to find it, because what can they hopefully do? That is a 5-man rotation down to the bot lane, so I guess if you're the side of Team Spirit, you're happy that, you know, you got some space in that mid lane, but that was a lot just for that tier 1 because they could.
Yep, and now they're going to commit only a couple heroes here to pushing the tower. Storm's going to go back and hit neutrals just in case this becomes too hard to push. Usually this tower is really hard to go offensive on in the early laning stage, and Team Spirit's going to defend it, but ultimately that was just great. They pop ulti right away on the Phoenix. How are their opponents supposed to do anything? If they lasso Phoenix and kill him at the start of the fight, maybe it's very different, but Storm was ready to rotate over. Prophet TP'd as well. Like, it's just really hard for Team Spirit to force these semi-normal fights here until they get a couple more team fight items.
Well, it's going to get even harder now that the Storm Spirit has just picked up that Orchid, so they have to be very careful, especially, you know, this Oracle, right? He is just always going to have a target on his back in a lot of these fights because of the fact that he has this, you know, the save. He is the save. He is the ability to, you know, heal up his teammates and just turn everything around, so yeah, he's going to be very nervous right now.
Everybody's vulnerable to the Orchid. The maybe most survivable is Bat with his Hooded Defiance right now, and Windranger could use Wind Run if she sees it in time and maybe survive, or Ursa could use Enrage, but a lot of these heroes are really vulnerable. So let's see where Storm goes after he's healing here in the Fountain. Queuing up Bloodstone next, very standard. He's just going to walk out, it looks like, because they're basically trying to, if he TP's out right now to get to a lane faster, then he can't react to what happens later on. And because they still have this tier 1 bottom, they want to make sure that they're available for that. But Earthspirit's going to TP to the mid lane, he's going to smoke with Storm, and now they're going to go for a gank.
All right, Spirit Brothers making their way downtown, as they're hoping that maybe they can grab someone hanging out here. Of course, it is just the Windranger showing themselves in that lane, so pretty safe over here to the side. They've got some nice vision too, keep in mind. They do have that ward over in the eye spot, trying to just see if anybody's farming up, but they've been pretty spread out over on the side of Spirit. Most of them over in their own triangle. You can see the Underlord is the big boy, so he's going to be able to, you know, take a little punishment, show himself in the lane. But the rest of the team, Mposhka, so bad. All right, no, they decide that they're not going to go for that bounty rune.
A little dangerous to check it, but I mean, they're getting more farm on the map right now anyways. Their opponents are doing tri-camp, I suppose, but still no Battle Fury finish for Ursa. He still needs about 300 gold to go. And it's really not that late in the game. We're only 15 minutes in. Maybe Prophet gets initiated on top, though.
Tokyo has to be careful, though, because there's a lot of people making their way over. Are they going to be able to do it in time is the question, though. Looks like he's going to be able to see. No, Power Shot comes through. The zip in, though, from the Storm Spirit immediately, like we talked about. Maposhka is just taken out. The egg pops off on the side. Not really too many heroes, though, that are going to get stunned by it, because they are a bit away. So bad having to be a bit careful, though, as Empire is sweeping through the side of the jungle and trying to ensure that this tower belongs to them. Do still have collapse, though, trying to hide the tree line. More teleports coming out. It's going to be Toronto Tokyo coming back in the silence, though. It's causing a lot of problems. Collapse, he's tanky, but that Sunray with the percentage-based damage is just too much. Now is Toronto Tokyo. He's just kind of being left alone as the Storm teleports out. Eknar does eventually fall here. Smiling Knight, he still has the reincarnation, so he's going to take a bit of a bath here in this Firefly, and he's going to be able to just toggle a bit, but he's coming right back up again. Yatoro is here. They need to see if they can get a shackle off. It doesn't quite latch. They just don't have the damage here, as now they'll turn their attention over to the Earth Spirit. Looks like he's going to be the one who gives up his life to protect his core.
So they do force a bit of a weird engagement, but it sort of works out. I mean, they killed the Oracle, but the initial Prophet dying wasn't great for them either.
Oh, Gwynblade, he's so happy he got himself a double damage rune, and he gets himself a little something extra in the form of Toronto Tokyo.
Yeah, that one feels really good. So net worth about even right here, but the pressure has been being exerted pretty well by Empire. I really like that after Storm used all of his mana, he instantly did like a ball TP. He read where that team fight was going a little bit earlier and got out and made sure that he didn't also die. If he dies in that fight, game feels completely different right now. He's not there to get the DD. He doesn't get the kill on the Batrider. Maybe he'll try an Ursa. But Oracle's in position.
Yeah,
He scans.
Mapushka's
See it?
really nicely set up behind them. So the ward spots out, you know, the fact that the Ursa's there. But
Well, I think they scanned to see if Oracle was hiding nearby. So they scanned to see, is Oracle nearby? He is. Okay, not worth going on this. Underlord top almost got a Yule's, about 400 gold away. That'll help protect him from the Orca. But this ward is doing a lot of work here.
there's a lot of TPs coming out here. Collapse making his way forward. Goes, drops down that pit, and they have the lasso. So this is looking like a very dead Storm. Something that they kind of desperately needed at this point.
That was really well done. They might lose their Observer Order with it, but imagine how different this game would be if they had that dewarded. Storm doesn't die, he gets to stay on the map pressuring, but now it's time for Team Spirit to go across the map. Battle Fairy's finished on Ursa. They don't have to worry about Storm for 30 seconds. And now they get to take a tier 1 tower, and the map control is kind of lost here for a bit.
Is the most important tower for both teams. Oh. Holding on, we'll be able to get the root off, but Seiyu should be able to just roll on out. I don't know if they're going to be able to catch him. They don't have a blink on the Batrider, I don't believe, so should be. Yeah, they just had the boots of travel. It's going for
I think his itemization is fine. He definitely needed Hood. A lot of Batriders are going like BOTs into BKB right now, but the Hood is going to help a huge amount against like Storm and Earth Spirit and Phoenix, so I don't blame him for missing that kill. So lose tier 1, not the end of the world for them. Game's pretty much dead even here. Essence Ring on Storm looks really good though, I gotta say. A little bit of mana, more chance to stay alive in these team fights, but
I mean, Storm Spirit's one of those heroes, too, that kind of sits on the edge of a knife, right? The idea that, you know, you're doing so well, but if you have, like, 1 or 2 deaths, you really just lose your momentum. So.
yeah, it matters a lot, for sure.
But seems like he's having the time of his life for now. Did die once. Not the end of the world, though. But he has to be careful that he doesn't get over-aggressive, that he doesn't get picked off, because he is really that tempo controller. Even though you do have Smiling Knight, right? He's built himself into this core that can fight early, but I'm sure he would be much happier if he could just, you know, sit back a little bit more. Does have the Radiance completed, though.
Yep, and Quicksilver Amulet, really good item here on Wraith King. 30 attack speed, 10% movement speed bonus after you cast a spell, so, and it's pretty much always on cooldown from Vampiric Spirit. Might even get this courier. I was looking for it.
Yeah. Ooh.
Turned on the armorlet, just in case it wasn't enough damage. I think it was, like
He means business purge.
He did, yeah. Turns off Radiance, doesn't want them to know, but this is perfect positioning.
Brave Fire Blast opening up. Yatoro, though, chasing after Smiling Knight. There's a little bit of a skirmish going on over there on the side as Toronto Tokyo is hunting for the Storm Spirit. Smiling Knight, he took a lot of damage. The Oracle ultimate, though, getting popped over on the back lines. We'll be able to keep them alive. Smiling Knight trying to heal up over here on the side. Toronto Tokyo and Collapse, they feel like they want to go in. They'll be able to go get their hands on the Phoenix, but still has that egg up, so they have to be very careful. Silence is going to get thrown out over here onto Collapse. He's a big tanky boy. Is it going to be enough? Egg being placed over to the side. It's a really nice placement, but they're just kind of wandering away from it, so they do finally manage to take down Collapse. Are they going to be able to find anything else? Was that the reincarnation that just popped too? No, it wasn't. I heard something that was... Not sure what that was, but...
I think it was egg sounds.
Could have been.
Maybe. Sounded kind of similar after you mentioned it.
A lot going on in that fight.
So, decent. Little confident initiation by the Wraith King, but he's able to extend out his ulti, and therefore is still happy to pressure on the map. They're going on bad, though.
They are indeed. There's no one here to save him. He's not tanky enough. Does have himself a Yule's, but that's just going to buy him just a little bit of time.
Feels bad when you've got the solution, but they just chain stun you too perfectly. He goes down, and now Smiling Knight's instantly into Roshan, queuing up a BKB, which is a great item here. It's going to allow him easily to run down heroes like Wind Ranger and Oracle.
This momentum just feels really good right now if you're Empire. You've got a Storm that's just doing fantastic. You've got a Wraith King who can fight early, who's also scaling well. He has definitely got to be smiling.
Side, there's a Wind Ranger with a Glimmer Cape.
Oh no.
And a
what are we
Philosopher's
going to
Stone.
do?
Literally a Shackle Shot and a Power Shot. This is why Wind Ranger has win rate issues, guys. Because you got to, like, have advantage and set tempo and stuff, but if you're playing from behind, it feels bad. Unless you get those shackles, who knows? Maybe he'll win this game and I'll eat my words.
All right there, Slacks. Calm down with your hatred on the Wind Ranger, but this is not looking great. Oh, look at that Glimmer Cape. Nope, they have dust. They're good. They know what to do here. Storm zipping forward, looking for the opening. Shackle doesn't come in, and you know what? Petasharo says, I would love that kill. Thank you, guys.
He was, like, right next to her. He could have walked over. He's like, nah, I got this. Just puts the ulti down, keeps hitting creeps. Just normal stuff.
Efficiency purge. You know, what else is he going to do with that right now? Why not get the final hit on a Wind Ranger?
I really like the mech that Prophet picked up this game, actually, because they have a team fight advantage. Like, adding a global heal for your whole team is just going to give you a much better chance to win fights. So even he's not going to go Greaves this game probably, but 4 armor at his hero, 275 AoE heal, that's pretty sick. It could definitely impact some of these fights.
Oh, for sure. For sure, especially the way that they skirmish. Smoke, though, coming out. Gonna make their way over into the side of the Dire jungle, it looks like. And they are grouped up over on the side of Team Spirit. They are trying to protect one another, but it's pretty dangerous here. Yeah, look at the Smiling Knight just leading the charge. Has his Radiance turned off. Super sneaky Smiling Knight. He is ready to murder. But
basically, by taking the tier 1 tower, it's normally common to walk into the enemy tri-camp at that point, so the enemy team is going to cross to the other side of the map. But using the smoke there, they had a chance, basically, to catch any Team Spirit Lingerers in their own jungle and grab any kills there. They weren't able to do that, and now Team Spirit's going to smoke the opposite side of the map too, trying to do a similar motivation with the BKB up on Ursa. But nobody finds anybody, it's just going to be a little bit of downtime. And in the meantime, Empire's just gotten a lot more net worth, most likely.
definitely feels like they have a good control of the map as he jumps forward, and they'll be following up, though, with a really nice egg. The Storm comes out, though. They'll hold him into place. They can't seem to finish off the Storm Spirit as they try to go up to the high ground. Yatoro, though, he's on the back lines. He's got his eyes onto Patusha, and he does have that BKB. That is going to be an Aegis going down, though. So as they manage to put out enough damage onto Storm, he's ready for round 2, though. Cannot seem to find this Wind Ranger. The dust is going to come out, though, so that Glimmer Cape not going to help them too much. Collapse, big tanky boy up front. The TPs are just coming out. They want to go home. Collapses, just pop that ultimate. He's hoping that he can get away, be tanky enough so that way they can't kill him in time, and he is going to make it out.
That was really good for Team Spirit. Aegis gets blown on. Storm Spirit there as he initiates. He really tried to force that one, and he got some disables off, but not able to really swing it in their favor. They do have the shard for Nature's Prophet, so we got to see the big Treant boys right now. So maybe they'll be able to pressure towers a little bit easier, knowing that Lasso's down, but things are looking fine for Empire, but they could definitely still lose this game. Their fights aren't quite going as clean as they want. They're usually only getting like 1, maybe 2 kills, so it's just buying time for Team Spirit.
I like the pickup of the Blink Dagger over on Maposhka. It's going to be very, very important for him to stay as far back as possible, but also still be able to get in there with that Oracle ulti.
Yep.
This will allow him to position a bit better.
So much harder for Storm Spirit to find him, basically.
Well, he's got to cut through so many people then. Oh, another double damage run. I feel like I've seen a lot of double damage runs today.
Here's smoke from Team Spirit, though. They might not get to this DD in time. That's going to take it.
Snapped up. Garage Tokyo looking for this opening. Immediately, he's going to get sent up by Smiling Knight. He's got the Yules. There's a lot of damage coming out. The Sunray, though, keeping Smiling Knight just alive a little bit longer, but he is eventually going to fall. And there's all 3 of the heroes all grouped up over here on the side. Yatoro, he's got the BKB, though, and he looks like he just has to run. There's too much physical damage here. So are they going to be able to walk away? A little bit of the Phoenix damage coming out as here has the Magnetize. It's going to be Tashara just teleporting in onto the back lines. They're still looking for this bear, and they're not going to be able to find it, but it looks like they might be able to get Toronto Tokyo because they don't have any other saves left. Over on the side, though, Yatoro trying to man fight, and he just cannot do it against Smiling Knight. He is going to fall. Collapse, hoping that they don't collapse on him, but the roll comes forward right into Zaire. And again, he is a big tanky boy, but look at this Nature's Prophet. He's everywhere, all over this map. So again, they'll be able to hold the place. They've got the Sunray. Another Yules comes out trying to get rid of that silence, but it doesn't matter. And look at those giant treants that just sprout up out of his corpse.
Punched his friend right through the Underlord to kill him. What a move there by the Earth Spirit. Very good. And now they're pressuring 2 tier 2s at the same time, losing almost nothing in that engagement. They just couldn't quite lock down the Storm Spirit well enough. There was like 3 heroes that got grouped there and allowed the Storm to do a lot of damage and just put Team Spirit on the retreat path. It's hard for them to stop their opponents from running at them outside of using Shackle or like majorly killing somebody like Storm right at the start of the fight. And Wraith King's going to do the same thing. He's just going to run at them constantly. Now that he's got BKB, it's only going to be easier for him. So game looking rough for Spirit.
So what moves do they have to do now to really stay in this game? Because, you know, we've talked about the fact that the Wraith King did just pick up the BKB. Do they still hope that they can get some sort of a pick off? Because Smiling Knight is just becoming more and more difficult to deal with, obviously.
Yeah, getting a pick off is definitely what they need to do. Obviously, going for Wraith King is never going to feel good. But Storm Spirit just finished Bloodstone, so he's definitely very vulnerable to disables still. They still have good disables between Pit of Malice, between Lasso, between Shackle. There's a Blink Dagger on Wind Ranger, so she can get more mobile here. But a lot of this comes down to, can they get in position with Wind Ranger plus like 2 heroes to kill a hero like Storm Spirit? And that's going to be really hard when all the map is constantly being pushed in from Prophet anyway.
Oh, look at that guess. There was an award over there, was it? There was one in the lane, I know, but maybe they just saw her walk over there, but that was like right on the money. Very lucky to get out of there.
BKB on Prophet now too.
Yeah, I mean, we saw in the bottom lane that the Bat Rider, you know, Toronto2Tokyo, he looked at the Prophet. He was like, I have a double damage rune. And you saw the Firefly get started, but they was like, I don't know where, you know, any second, there could just be Petrashar just showing up, right? It's just too dangerous for him to try to go after these different picks.
Trying to regain their jungle here, but they're so scared to do it.
Well, they're trying.
Wind Ranger walking in first.
Yeah, they zip right in, right past the Wind Ranger. Again, that Glimmer Cape, though, the followed up with the Dust, they'll just be able to go. They take down so bad. The Sunray is doing so much work as they do manage to hold the Storm into place, so they do manage to take him down this time. Sayer, chased after now. Yatoro doesn't feel like he wants to try to fight over here on the side. They will be able to take down the Wraith King one time. So he's going to go right back up again. But
excellent fight. They got the target they wanted. Storm Spirit's the vulnerable one. His net worth, the survivability level is not in the best balance, and they get Lasso plus Ursa committing to him with BKB active. And that's one place that Storm is a little bit weak, is like lots of single target physical damage. He's got pretty good base armor. He's got sitting at 11 right now, but it's not enough to survive an Ursa and a full BKB. So good grabs, and now tier 3 items too. Hard choices.
Definitely some nice pickups here for the side of Spirit. Spider legs, though, getting found by Smiling Knight. He's going to keep those in the backpack for the time being.
There's like no defensive items on the Empire side. That's one thing that's kind of hurting them here, because how do they stop Storm from dying there? I'm not really sure. They have like a Halberd on Phoenix, but obviously it has to be pre-BKB. There's a mech on Prophet. That's like all I can see here. It's no Glimmer Cape. They just can't defend.
Teleports are coming out in mass here, Purge. Didn't have that dust on Smiling Knight, though, so the Glimmer Cape that we were, you know, sassing a bit earlier on this Wind Ranger, it worked there. We're talking about defensive items.
Does get Orbit Destruction on Wraith King. That's pretty darn solid, especially once he finishes his AC. And the slow. Amazing, 25% slow just built in here. Let's see if they can get a catch, though. Wraith King wants to go first. Storm wants to follow up once he can target somebody crucial.
All right, Toronto2Tokyo. He's going to try to juke around the corner. Bounty runes are up. Blink away. The pullback, though, over onto Toronto2Tokyo. Shackle comes through. Does manage to hold the Earth Spirit in place. They do have the BKB.
Doesn't have Firefly.
So they're going to try to run out, and it's not looking great here for the Wind Ranger. She is going to get sprouted up and fall. Toronto2Tokyo, all right, buys a little bit more time thanks to Collapse. But they jump right onto the back lines, and they need to take down this Oracle. Maposhka, is he actually going to be able to walk away from this? Yes, he even has a salve there thanks to that trusty shovel, finding some treasure earlier.
Huge Yules from Bat Rider there. He threw Storm up in there. That would have definitely been a dead Oracle otherwise. So great damage control there. They lost the Phoenix somewhere else in the fight by the Bounty Ring, I guess. He died to the Ursa. I missed that one.
Did not see that either, but they're ready for round 2, Purge. Look at them. Smoked up. They know that they are definitely ready to skirmish. Still have the Lasso up as well. Who are they going to find, though, I guess is the question, as these gigantic tree ants just kind of, you know, shuffle through the woods, but no actual heroes.
They got to get the lanes pushed out. It's really important, especially the big trees. Big trees, creep waves, don't let them get that close to your base, because if you do lose a team fight, then they're just going to take a Rax instantly, because they'll be so close to the base. So got to keep these lanes pushed out. It'll give them more map control, give them more opportunities to delay the game. But, you know, Roche is also going down in the meantime. We'll see if they can spot this. They see the treant. That might give them a little bit of a clue here, since it is scouting things out, but they got to be really careful about getting jumped on right now.
They're grouping up over on the side, and it is taking Smiling Knight a decent chunk of time. BKB, of course, is available at Toronto2Tokyo. He's making his way over, throws down some of that sticky, they know. Roche had about half health, so feels like they just want to play it on the safer side. Underlord actually picking up the Eternal Shroud here, too. I kind of like that.
Interesting. Oh, he got the shard, actually, so you can self-target Firestorm. He went Firestorm Wave Count. I've only seen bad players do this before, so I'm excited to see him do something good with it. You know, he's got Ceremonial Robe as well, so lowers magic resistance. He'll be able to deal damage to nearby enemies and also heal himself. So as long as he can stay in the fight, he can do tons of damage to heroes like Wraith King once BKBs are done. But I don't really see this being super useful until that point.
Well, maybe you'll learn something today too, Purge. You know, our panel learned a bunch.
I mean, there's a lot of magic damage, so the hood aspect of the Shroud is solid, but is this really the best item he could buy in this circumstance? I'm not sure. But maybe it'll be good.
Find out one way or the other. Toronto Tokyo, though, does show himself in the bottom lane. Is just trying to shove out, so I'll be interested to see if they're going to try to get back in the pit.
Yeah, this is the nicest thing about having a Prophet, is that if you do normally go over here to push out this lane, then you have to TP back to defend Roche. But because Prophet, they can do that.
Poking away. They need to get in there soon. Bat Rider's making his way over. Still just keep dumping down the damage. Toronto Tokyo getting into position. He wants to see if he can try to get a snatch in here. We'll see Smiling Knight. They just can't seem to finish off this Roche every time they get near the pit. I
mean, it's low, though. A little bit of time here and this thing dies, especially if they commit. They're going to go in soon.
Nice silence. Shara, zip forward. Gwynblade trying to jump in. It's still going to be Yatoro. Yatoro actually grabs it up. They get the kill on the Roche. And now they're going to have to man-fight Smiling Knight. They get a good bash off, but the egg outside of the pit saves them a little bit more time. So Bad's going to go down. Gwynblade also falls. So Bad buying back, though. No buyback on the Storm Spirit. You are a happy, happy bear right now, as Pachar just has to teleport out with that BKB. Toronto Tokyo, he's hungry. He'd like to grab himself a little bit more here. Not going to be able to do it, though, as they managed to not only get the kill on Roshan, but also get that Aegis up and running.
Yeah, and even though like they killed Storm instantly, Storm still does not have a BKB this game. I'm very surprised about this, but he just hasn't been. There's probably a lot less farm on the map because Prophet's been ulting constantly and pushing out lanes. And this like delayed BKB thing is certainly something that's hurting him. Like I think he still dies there because he got lassoed or whatever, and Ursa was in the pit too, but it's got to be restricting his ability to initiate, because if he's just got BKB, I feel like Empire just runs at their opponents and takes the fight almost every time because they have stronger team fight. But with no BKB on Storm, he's super vulnerable to Underlord, to Shackle, to so many things. And so they tried to do this like Coward's Way Roshan, where they just have Wraith King doing it, but their opponents just in that split-second moment fought better than they did, took the Roche, take the Aegis, and just swing back a fight. So they're still winning on the Empire side with 7k net worth, but now they have to fight into an Aegis Ursa, which is not going to be fun.
Man, that was a snide comment from you. The Coward's Roche. That is so harsh, Purge. My goodness.
I mean, it was like slightly safe, but like it's also bad because it took so long, and then they're not hitting creeps. So I don't know, it was kind of weird. Like Wraith King just could not sustain the lifesteal against Roche. He was taking a little bit too much damage.
Now, we talked about this a little bit earlier, right, about the Storm Spirit and how if he has too many deaths underneath his belt, he kind of falls off. He's not a huge threat. How are we feeling right now about him?
I mean, the delayed BKB is the biggest issue just because it's limiting his ability to initiate. His net worth is still fine, and he's absolutely still going to be a valuable hero for the rest of the game. So he's got Orchid, he's got Bloodstone, he's got mana, he's got utility. Like, he's certainly useful, especially when he targets supports on the backline, for example.
Right.
You know, get Orchid at the right time, and you can kill one of these guys, absolutely. But it'll be fine. It's just his net worth is maybe not quite as high as I expected to be, based on how his early game went.
I feel like this Nature's Prophet has to play pretty scared right now, and that Toronto Tokyo, that's going to be one of his #1 targets, because every time that they try to go for a push or something, it feels like you've got, you know, these greater treants pushing in a different lane. So if they can grab a jump on the Nature's Prophet, it's super valuable. We do have the Abyssal Blade finished up on the Ursa as well. So do you think we're going to see something a little bit more like they're going to group up on the side of Spirit, or...?
I mean, yeah, they definitely want to fight if they can.
Oh, that is still a very good pick. It is not the Nature's Prophet, but if you can take down the Storm Spirit, you're very, very happy right now. And do they have enough damage? That's a question. It's not looking like they do. Oracle throwing out that save over onto the Wind Ranger. Toronto Tokyo is BKB'd. He just wants to run away. Collapse also deciding, all right, the rest of my team is gone. I want nothing to do with this. I will see you later. And they just disengage just like that. No kill on the Storm, but do you manage to just poke a little bit? And that's more space here again for Yatoro.
The Wind Ranger looking surprisingly hard to kill. He's done a really good job glimmering and blinking and getting out of danger when needed. Obviously, Oracle saved him with the ulti, but the Wraith King tried very hard to get those slaps, and he just couldn't. He had to wait 6 seconds, and then she just blinks away. So on the bright side, he does finish his AC, so his net worth is still very impressive, but he's sitting about equal to Ursa at this point, and Ursa's burst is certainly a lot more intimidating, especially with the heroes he's up against. But
got some nice items coming out here. The Stormcraft, the Telescope, of course, is always just very, very nice for your supports. Flicker also getting picked up. But yeah, you know, Smiling Knight, he has some very large chops coming out, but the slabs coming out from Ursa, of course, are just a little bit scarier at this time.
yeah, Flicker's pretty solid, especially against things like Oracle, Sticky Napalm, against Pit of Malice. You can get out of those pretty quickly. Not quite sure who's going to pick it up. Storm's going to stick with the Stormcrafter for now. Thought maybe he would go for cooldown reduction. So they just picked up one of those as well, but maybe they'll go to someone else. Yeah, Spell Prism's sitting there. Surely that's... I guess having a Euls for Storm is really important. Yeah, it's a free Euls. This is like the perfect case, actually, to get Stormcrafter. When you're dealing with roots, you don't have BKB, and you want a free Euls. Boom, it's perfect. So he'll probably stick with that, at least until he gets his BKB.
I mean, he has been the #1 target, it seems, every time. If he shows on the map, they instantly collapse on him, and they get the nice pick off. He just seems to be in the wrong place, wrong time, too, it feels like a bit.
But he's also got to be the initiator for his team primarily, so you're going to have those swings sometimes. Trickster Cloaks for both teams, actually. Really good item in a lot of cases on tanky sort of heroes. They don't really have those type of heroes on Empire except for maybe Earth Spirit. Earth Spirit's actually going to be the one with getting the Spell Prism. That's got to feel good. Lots of mana regen, some solid stats, and that beautiful cooldown reduction.
Ooh, the Leveler, though. That is a nice item.
Yes, very good Ursa item.
Radiant are scanning.
All right, well, they're making their push onto the Tier 2 top. They're taking over.
Interesting. Wraith King's going to use the Trickster Cloak.
Interesting. Okay, well, I guess that, gives them the chance to help kind of set up as well.
Yeah. I mean, the other neutral items at Tier 4, none of them really do damage, so...
Right. Well, they already have gems, though, on
Flicker.
both sides. I think the Bat Rider has... Yeah, Toronto Tokyo has a gem, and they just picked up a gem over on the side of Empire. Yep, there it is. So the Invis is not going to be that helpful as long as one of these guys is still alive with that item.
I agree, but the 20 evasion, effectively, not for free, but 20 evasion against Ursa is going to be really effective, and 20 magic resistance once his BKB runs out, which will be always by the, one of his 2 lives, he's not going to have BKB, so it's actually pretty useful. You could also use it to initiate, use it, and look for a blink target, or blink in, go invis, stun somebody, something like that. There's options here. And they're looking to force the fight now. Still no BKB on Storm. He's saving his buyback on it. Man, his net worth, I feel like, has just been flat for 20 minutes.
He started off so well, too. That was a lot of what the panel was saying, is that lanes were going to be very important. He was going to need to pop off, and he did pop off in the beginning, but it just seems like it just went a bit flat here, yeah. All right, they know someone's there.
Yeah, he had the gem, I guess, so we saw him, but...
Nice Lincolns here from Petashar, realizing that he is very susceptible to the lockdown coming out from the side of Spirit. So it's going to be important that they try to do something like a shackle or whatnot before they go in with the lasso or that Abyssal Blade.
Yeah, Prophet getting this farmed is definitely going to be the big difference maker as this game continues, because he's past Lincolns, he's finished Bloodthorn now, so their ability to burst somebody down is going to be huge between himself, Storm Spirit, and Wraith King as right clickers. So, and he's not done here. It's going to keep going. So, while on the enemy side, it's just the Ursa. That's their only core. So, if the game continues super late and the net worths are still about even, I feel like Empire should have a really good shot of crushing out team fights. The only big difference maker is maybe how hard it is going to be to kill Ursa. He's very farmed, and he's got an Oracle to protect him. So, keep on playing, I guess. Look for the right opportunities and get your net worth up. Don't get picked off as Prophet has, and eventually maybe he can win this game for his team.
And the Phoenix actually going for the Aeon Disc too, making sure that they can be as effective as possible in these fights, get off the egg, and also, the fact that he is kind of important for putting that percentage-based damage over onto the big chonky boy that is the Underlord.
Yeah, that can help a lot.
But they're just ripping down each other's vision. Do have the Satanic picked up for the Ursa now. So he's going to be harder to take down as long as he can hit something. And they don't really have anything that can restrict him from that. Walking straight up over to Cyclops is very not having this.
A lot of damage.
Got the Yules. Is he going to be able to make it out time? Yes, he does. Nicely timed with that.
Yule's really paying off right there, but it's certainly been good all game against Orchid and things like that. Getting this fast Yule's, I think, was quite solid for him.
Yeah.
Especially now that he's got an armor item to put on top of it. Like, as long as he casts his ulti, he's good to go. If that Orchid comes earlier and he has to use Yule's to remove the Orchid, very different, but luckily for him, it was not Storm initiating in that fight. And Storm just going Linken's now? He bought an ultimate orb after his Ogre Axe, so I guess he's just changing his mind, and he'd rather just have the ability to remove Lasso. Okay. Or Shackle, or whatever.
I mean,
or Abyssal.
It's
Probably
working for the
Abyssal.
Nature's Prophet, right? Nature's Prophet just has the Lincolns. Oh, no, he has a BKB too. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad. Never mind.
I think it's just because the Ursa is a little bit too scary, honestly. Like, or because once you get Blink Dagger on Ursa, if they ever have vision, he just Blink Abyssals you instantly. It's
Right.
really hard to react in time. So if you've got Lincolns, you actually have some counterplay there. And Lincolns also protects you from Lasso, which is the other thing you're primarily worried about, especially with Stormcrafters, since you can get out of dispel those roots. So I think it's actually a decent choice. Kind of weird. Certainly a weird game for him, but it works out.
Ooh, we get a Swift Blink picked up on that Wraith King. Thoughts?
Yep, it's,
You like it?
It's very popular. Yeah, it's the way to go for DPS carries, like having an AoE.
Oh, this is a good pick off. That's
Finally got
Shara. Yep. Nice ward
They have a
over
Tinker
there.
Ward. Yep. So finally does get picked off, but I feel like that's the first time we've seen him die split pushing all game. So the fact that it took this long, I think was really, really good for Empire. What was I talking about?
Right,
Oh yeah, the
Blink.
Swift Blink. Yeah, it's really solid on Wraith King. We got huge movement speed already, so getting the bonus with attack speed and damage is excellent. Very normal. Most hard carries by Swift Blink right now. Gerst is also queuing on up.
Well, I know we see it on things that are, you know, the other agi carries and whatnot. I don't recall seeing it picked up on the Wraith King recently.
Wyvern, or Skeeter, sorry, did it the other day in that really long game where he got Giant String. He had won that game too. It's very normal. Almost all carries by Swift Blink at the moment. Oh no, that courier!
Ooh. But
Just knew it was going to be there.
there it is. There's the Rosh is back up. You've got the Ag's Blessing. We're going to see some fighting around that pit soon. Lincoln's is completed now for the Storm Spirit, so he's got a little bit more survivability now. The Arcane Rune, too, is having a little bit of fun zipping around, clearing out camps. He's feeling a bit
No buyback, though.
confident. Smiling Knight
gotta
and Collapse
be-
going to wave at each other.
Finally,
Alright.
the Dire team gets to abuse Ursa on Roshan.
Here we go. Double damage, too, to boot. Oof. All right, look at the positioning around the team. Smoked up. Smiling
get there in
Knight,
time?
first one is going to get in there. Comes forward with the Lotus Orb, though. It's a snatch, though. Yatoro manages to go and grab it. And the back lines of Maposhko will go down. Gwynblade trying to find this opening. Egg goes off inside the pit. They're all on the outside. This is not looking great. Yatoro will go down. That is the Aegis burnt. As the rest of the team trying to find this opening, trying to get in there anyway, and they can't. Collapse will go down. This is not looking good for Yatoro. He's just going to try to, like, man-fight his way through it. He is
this
life
Sprout.
stealing quite a bit. It's a good save, though, coming out from Maposhko, as he manages to go get that heal off. So it looks like the Ursa, he may not have that Aegis of Immortality anymore, but he's got Maposhka, who's going to have to be good enough and keeps him alive.
Not terrible for Team Spirit. It looked pretty scary there, but Ursa's able to grab the Egg Shard and grab the Aegis. They didn't get the last hit. Fight still
Oh,
going,
the
though.
lasso onto the back lines. They've got their hands over here on the burb as Yatoro chases after Aknard here. Can he get enough damage? He is disarmed, though. Over on the back lines, you have a whole other fight going down. A So Bad will fall. Yatoro just being kited, though, a bit here with Smiling Knight. They're trying to just get close enough. They're trying to get Yatoro into the bus.
got
They
him.
can't do it fast enough. His collapse. He leaves behind the corpse of Yatoro.
Okay, they do win in the end. Did they need to go back in? In hindsight, no. They were very close to killing the Phoenix, then the Earth Spirit, but crucially that Halberd came out on time from Phoenix to buy him time. That's the downside to the re-engage. You don't have BKB to protect yourself from the Halberd, and if you don't use it, and if you use the Halberd pre-enrage, then boom, you just bought yourself many, many seconds there to work down the Ursa.
When the heck did he pick that up?
What, the
The Halberd, yeah.
That was the first item he
It was the
bought.
first
He just
time-
hasn't
okay.
had a chance to use it like all game because every fight has been like cores jumping in, popping BKB.
Right, right. Or he's forced to, like, egg up, like, pretty fast, too.
Yep, exactly.
All right.
All right.
Good itemization. Came back in the end to be able to do something with it.
Yep,
It is hard to push
Wha-
into this big boy here, though.
it is. Especially when he's got the lower cooldown, 8-second cooldown, and the wave count is 8. It's permanently up here. So this is really tough with all these melee heroes. They're gonna have to like convincingly crush fights to make going high ground easy. as long as they control ward vision on the those little corner spots, then yeah, they should be fine here.
These haven't felt like clean fights, though, either. They've been a bit skirmishy back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, 60% of our fights have been in the Roche pit, I'm pretty sure, in this game. So
Are scanning.
they're going to spot Wraith King with the scan, though. See if they can go on him.
See Pixar thinking that he wants to make his way over. You can see the teleports. Here is nearby. He's going to roll forward. They'll be able to protect the Wraith King. They'll be able to disengage on the side of Spirit. Zip forward, coming out from Storm. He's got to be really careful because there is a Bat Ride over here, but of course, he does have that Lincoln, so not going to be able to immediately jump upon. Oh, they do have a Yules now. All right.
Yeah, Bat Rider
Right.
could have gone on him, but they would have needed somebody else. He's got Octarine as well, so pretty easy for him to get the lasso off. The cast range is looking decent, like 300, so Storm does have to be careful. Does he have, do you buy his BKB yet? No, he's still saving for buyback. But he's got the money if he really wanted it.
Are scanning.
One other thing that's kind of hurting Empire right now is that Wraith King does not have True Strike, so all these like evasion items and
Right.
Dire's
things
bottom
like that are
tower is
causing
under
him
attack.
some hazards, Wind Ranger, that kind of thing.
Look at
Right,
the movement
slow
coming up
start,
top.
pretty
They're hoping maybe they can grab Tashara, but he's already hightailing it out of here. Realizing that every time he shows up on the map, they're going to be trying to hunt for him.
They missed the one observer ward that they rolled just past now, but this gem was really needed. I feel like the Team Spirit has just outvisioned them a little bit almost all game.
Lasso,
that's a
drag
gem.
back over here. That is a very dead Earth Spirit, so a little bit of a
Oh.
pick off for the side of Spirit.
That's more than a little bit. That's a huge kill. The fact, like, it feels like Empire has been outmaneuvered by Vision almost the entire game. There's been a couple crucial moments where them having Vision was a big deal, but you cannot go for that cliff spot without having your team there behind you. It's just way too dangerous, and he ends up losing the gem. I'm not sure how out of stock it's going to be, but it was a big loss.
It's a lot of damage coming out from these greater trees. They actually just take the whole...
hell?
Guys?
That was so
Guys?
That was so much damage, actually.
Oh my
I didn't think it
God.
was going to be that much. Those aren't illusions. Those are real living creatures. That's full damage. Okay. All right. Swift blink up for Ursa now. He's got it on the way.
Petashara is earning his keep here this game for sure. With the amount of split pushing and whatnot. But yeah, Swift Blink picked up for Yatoro. I just don't know. These engagements are difficult to find, like the perfect one, it feels. I don't know. Just
They
for
are,
both
yeah.
teams, right?
Yep, it absolutely is. You're scared about choking, you know, especially when you're ahead a little bit, as Empire is. You don't want to make any major mistakes when you initiate. Vision control obviously means a lot. Right now, Empire has nothing on the map for vision. It's been pretty consistently dewarded by gems. Whereas Spirit has solutions. They've got their jungle protected. They have the entrance to their jungle protected. They got a cliff spot too. So they can definitely get more chances to grab kills than their opponents can. So there's a long time till Roche. But Empire's going to wait, push out their lanes a little bit, and then they'll get aggressive most likely. There is a gem up on Prophet. So it looks like that old gem was, in fact, old. I had to check the Team Spirit base. I was like, do you steal this with a smoke, just in case? You can do that, I believe, right?
Yes.
Pop smoke, TP in their fountain.
Yep.
Take their goodies. Oh, we got
Not
the
their
2
goodies.
times. That's why it was so much damage. He had 2 times Treant HP and damage. So that's why those Treants did so much
Yeah.
more than before.
You know, we talk about that Necro Book being a huge source of damage, but the greater treants, too, are nothing to sneeze at.
Mm-hmm. So no boots on Prophet right now, but he's ready to react if needed.
All right, smoke up on the side of Empire, hoping to catch any stragglers here. Not going to find anyone home, but there is someone sitting in the mid lane that they might be able to get the jump on. Bat Rider, too, showing up over here on the side. They have the vision, the zip forward. Toronto immediately goes around, uses that BKB, and the hold Storm into place. He does have his own fresh BKB. A Smiling Knight was looking for this opening, but the Lotus Orb immediately helps them to disengage.
Moxie, all I can say is, that's it. I
Thanks,
thought
Purge. That's a...
the ball lightning was really not good there, and then his opponent was like, "See ya," and he just walked away. So no fight.
Deuces. Bottom lane, though, Bloodthorn is up. I don't think Dota2 was expecting that. Does have the Yules. Yatoro, though, waking over,
He's in
making
trouble.
his way. Can he go and get these hits off? Yes, they can, but the follow-up coming out from Smiling Knight, plus the ball lightning, that one was pretty good here, but they do have the BKBs up. Petchar will fall. Smiling Knight now trying to run for his life over here. Gwynblade, he's trying to just run away, just ball out. And over on the side, though, the Wind Ranger is going to get slowed down. The egg over on the back lines will be able to go off. They don't have the detection, though, and eventually they will be able to just zip forward as the rest of the side of Spirit has decided that is more than enough and just disengage.
Okay, they didn't lose the gem, though. I was worried about them for that. I mean, they buy back profit in that engagement, but they only kill a Wind Ranger. Everybody on Team Spirit was super quick to react to that. Did they use... They must use Dark Rift, it looks like. It was used about 40 seconds ago. Maybe not. I didn't see how they all got there so fast, but boy, did they react. I think one of the things that really hurting Wraith King, the lack of MKB, honestly. No, he doesn't have MKB, and he doesn't have Abyssal. So it's like his opportunities to, like, lock people down in the first couple of moments or do something really good in the first couple of moments is just not there. But this is smart. He's going Spider Legs now. He's going to sell his Phase Boots, and now he's going to have an item slot without having to give up his Armlet, which is pretty important to keep him survivable against the Ursa. So, Spider Legs Basher. Basher definitely better than the Trickster Cloak. So I like this idea.
All right, well, he just had a Lincoln's picked up for the Bat Rider now because he realizes that if he shows up, it's just crazy, right? It's a back and forth game of cat and mouse. Who gets the jump on who? Because, you know, this Nature's Prophet is absolutely terrifying when you look at his items. He's got the Bloodthorn, he's got the Sheep Stick, and then on the flip side of it, you know, you look at what Dota2's got packing as well. He's got just the lasso is just very, very scary, plus the fact that you can pop all those Lincolns using the Yules.
The problem, though, is that Prophet's damage is really high, but it's not insanely high. He's got a lot of utility items. BKB, Mech, Lincolns, these are all super defensive. Force Staff now. Can they get the spell?
Oh.
No.
Nope, BKB. Another BKB charge. We should be down to like 5 seconds on that, yeah, at this point?
Yeah, he is down to 5, so not that important. Like, they buy themselves 20 seconds or something like that. But really, we're just waiting for Roche to come up, and that's what's really going to force these teams to have to engage, potentially.
A little bit of time left on some of these. Well, the Storm obviously is going to have time on the BKB. He picked that up very late as we kept harping.
They swap at.
Zip
They get him.
forward. That's very, very
again.
far forward, but they managed to find him. Plus the Lotus is not going to be enough to keep him alive. Dota2 will go down. Collapse immediately says, we got to get out of here. Look at all the damage coming out. Poshka will be able to keep the Wind Ranger alive a little bit longer. Does have the blink. So both of them will be able to disengage. And the disengage on the side of Spirit is so good.
Okay, she ends up staying alive. A little scary looking, but able to do it. Once again, like, Evasion feels like the bane of Team Empire this game. They were able to kill the Bat Rider there with that great move. The BKB got forced, they took that window and they forced the fight, and they were able to catch him.
Oh, this is... Look how fast this goes down. Empire's going to be so
That was a fast
happy.
Roche. That was like insanely fast Roche respawn, actually. All right, who gets the shard? Very curious.
Where is it? Where is
Storm
it?
Spirit. Okay.
Okay.
Gave it to Storm.
A little bit more
Nobody
locked
wants
down.
to
Always
choose.
nice. I'm not sure if he wants to be in the middle of everybody, though.
Just nobody
Little
wants to
spook.
cheese. All right, they're thinking about it. Definitely better than a mech. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Good choice, good choice. So now with AoE, Electro Vortex is actually insanely good for Storm because now it's not a targeted ability. So now it just stuns through Lincoln Sphere. So this is actually amazing for Storm's ability to catch Bat Rider or anybody else that might have Lincoln Sphere in these fights.
There's so many
So
BKBs
definitely
in this game. Oh my
A nice
gosh.
grab. There are. It is a good item. I'm sorry to say, guys. Yeah. But you just got to buy it sometimes.
You do.
Otherwise, the game just becomes not fun. They go on you and you just die every time.
And this is a game where you've got all sorts of amazing spells and fun things to do. You don't want to just die.
Dire's
Just
bottom
sit there, watch your friends have fun because you didn't buy a BKB. Yatoro is going to be able to teleport out. Looks like they're not going to hard commit here.
I mean, they tried. They couldn't find him. He blinks to the top. They thought he went bot. No catch. No big deal. 8,000 gold on Storm Spirit. Good for him. Let's go on Hex next. They just need more disable, basically. They realize that catch is an issue. They're going to regain their jungle just a little bit. Sitting here to hopefully catch somebody that comes to D-Ward like usual.
We're getting very close to the Abyssal Blade now for Smiling Knight. Just picked up the
Yeah.
Vanguard. Is that the whole thing actually coming out? Do we know? Ta-da!
Yep.
There it
And
is.
he's got Moonshard, so he's pretty darn farmed. And we got tier 5 items shortly also. I
Gotcha.
can't believe we're at 56 minutes already, but we are.
Want to see some good items coming out here for these teams. What do you want to see?
I would watch another Giants ring racing game.
Giants
I don't know.
Oh dear. Bottom lane jumping forward though, they pop the Lincolns. They'll be able to go and hold Petchar into place. They've had enough of this now. So even go and they use the lasso because they just are so sick of these treants just showing up and hitting their lanes.
No buyback there. But
No buyback.
because Roche is already dead, not the biggest deal for Empire. They're just going to dodge lanes for a bit.
Are they going to be able
Push
to
out
dodge
creep
them because they're
waves.
just chasing? Like, they really want to take advantage of this momentum. Look at this, Yatro. Needs to
Doesn't
go
have
and be
blink.
able to pop it. Yeah, there it is. He's able to pop the Lincolns and just needs a little bit more damage. But look at the Storm. He's able to zip away, and they just don't have enough catch. So Gwynblade going to be able to survive this initial jump.
Very scary. Had to use his Bloodthorn that Ursa just has. He also sold his boots using Spider Legs here. But not quite enough damage to get the kill. Very close, though. I don't think there's anything he could do to maximize that, except for not use Swift Blink earlier, but he probably needed to use it like that, so if he has Swift Blink when he goes in, he probably gets that kill, but... Map control looking fine. They still have 70 seconds. Still good opportunities for them to get a fight. But if anybody on Empire lets them get picked, that's what's going to change things. Smiling Light, Knight happy to hit creeps, because obviously he's much harder to kill. He's going to go in.
Oh, gosh. All right, Maposhka absolutely obliterated there.
What was that vision from?
Don't know, but there's
Sure.
going to be a buyback as the skirmish is going on over on the side. Toronto, Tokyo trying to find this opening, and it is going to be the BKB coming out here from the
Ursa's in
Earthspirit over
trouble.
on the side, though. Yeah, this is not looking great here. He's going to try to fight. Yes, he's going to be able to go. Takes down the first Aegis as there's a swoop coming out from the Phoenix with the Sunray. Can they burn down Yatoro? Yes, they'll be able to take down the Bear because there's a whole other fight going on over here on the side. They're just not together at all. Lotus Orb being thrown out. They'll get the drag back on the side. They'll be able to take down an Earthspirit, but then in comes Gwynblade. Okay, good save here coming out from Maposhka. We'll be able to keep the Wind Ranger alive. Just a little bit longer, but the rest of the team, they're delta splitting. They don't want to take this fight. They don't have Yatoro, and he has the main source of physical damage coming out from the team. So bad, has the Glimmer Cape, should be able to run away. Swift Blink is back up on the Wraith King. He really wants this, but no, at the last second, he's gonna, oh, the Spider Legs, he jumps right back in again. Oh, yes, the Lotus able to go buy a little bit more time. The stuns are just getting reflected right back in again. This is still a very dead Wind Ranger. Very nice indeed.
I'm so glad he's queuing up Rapier because this man needs True Strike so badly. Like, oh man, the wind run is just buying him so much time. Great uses of ulti by Maposhka as well, but the fight turned really crucially there when they got the disable on the Ursa. It was basically Hex with lots of right-click damage. They got him down to 15, 10% HP, and at that point he just has to run. I mean, he was able to kill the Storm Aegis, but they were able to finish him off as he runs for the hills, and that was just made the fight really straightforward as long as the rest of the fight didn't go too bad, and it didn't.
It was just so split the entire time, though. You know, we had like the two different cameras going on. And you're like, okay, what is happening? Nart needs to be careful. Toronto, Tokyo has his eyes on a little burb here. We'll just go up. Gwynblade, though, jumping in. He uses the Hex. That Lincoln's isn't going to work. They both have Hexes here, as both of them are two little piggies, and they're not making it home. Not this time. The zip forward here. Collapse pops his own BKB. They're just going to have to watch this very massive dinosaur in armor walk away from them.
Yep, now they lose their vision. This is the part, ooh, there it is, tier 5 items. Oh, minus 10 armor, that's pretty good
and
with a rapier.
Oh,
you know,
baby.
I don't know what just happened. Wraith King feels like he got a lot stronger in the last 5 seconds. Anyone else noticing this? His damage is a little high.
How many hits is it going to take to kill the Oracle?
1. Definitely 1 at this phase.
He's just going to
Without how much armor does Oracle have? He's got 8 armor, so let's just do the math really quick. After minus 12, yeah, he's going to have -4 armor. That's like a 20% damage increase. Plus he crits for 260. Yeah, that's a one-shot right now. Oracle's got to be so careful.
Ex Machina picked up as well. What do we have? Do we have all of the tier 5s now? Have they found them all?
Oh no,
No,
I
we
think
still
they're
got a
just
couple left.
beginning. They
Book
got
of the Dead
2.
is also a very
Okay.
nice item.
The ultimate rad item.
Zipping around, the Hex comes out over onto Ursa. He needs help, and he needs it fast. They'll go, and they'll use the Oracle ulti, but Smiling Knight sees an opening, wants to try to take down this Underlord. He's taking a lot of damage here, but it's not quite enough to take him down, as he is popping his own BKB. Smiling Knight and, of course, Earthspirit popping their own. So that engagement is over as soon as it started, feels like.
A little surprised Wraith King went in, but it worked out, I guess. Get their opponents to react a little. And what's really important actually is they keep their opponents out of the jungle right now. That's the 4th neutral item now. The 4th tier 5. The Dire team doesn't have any. Who do they put Fallen Sky on? It's just a raw item now, right? I can't remember.
20 strength, 20 int, 15 HP regen, 10 mana regen, and of course the meteor strike down.
Yeah. Good way to initiate. Nice stun. A second blink for Earth Spirit, a little unnecessary, but certainly better on him than other heroes.
I'm trying to think who else they could possibly put it on, and that seems to be the best choice at this juncture.
Yeah. I do like that Prophet's also holding the Ex Machina, though, because that's going to increase his survivability against Ursa massively. Because he's definitely a big target for Ursa. So being able to jump into fight, get 25 armor, which is insane, and then double his like active items, which is all amazing stuff.
So bad.
Like it'll be really good.
So bad is starting to get the items for doing some damage here. Does have to be so careful, though. Is smoked up. It's like she's this Wind Ranger's a little bit too fast for them to get their hands on. Does need to be careful, though. They're lingering in the area. They use the scan. Try to make some space. Yatoro needs to be careful. The jump forward immediately. Look at this damage perch. He just gets evaporated. What was that? Like 3 hits taken, knee peasant. Oh, my word.
Yeah, he died really quick there. The mobility of Earthspirit is actually insane. He's got 2 Blink Daggers and Rolling Boulder. That plus Storm plus Nature's Prophet, anybody gets out of position, it's over.
Look at this army.
You gotta be so careful.
Look at this army in the top lane. You've got Greater Treants, you've got Book of the Dead, level 2.
They have the one
God.
counter, though. Firestorm, 8 waves.
That's true.
Good luck pushing. Oh, no, it's up again. It's about to get so much gold.
All right,
Unless
he's
he
going to
missed
buy
bubble last
everybody
hit.
a Moon Shard now at this point because it's going to be just...
Oh, he's getting a Wind Waker. I think I haven't actually seen anybody buy Wind Waker in a pro game yet. This is the first I'm gonna see. It's a pretty good game for it. Who gets the shard? Wraith King?
Sweeps them
I
up.
guess. That is right. Because I guess you could like TP back home with Divine Rapier, that kind of stuff. That fun thing.
Yep.
They got any tier 5 items yet? Oh,
They have,
Wind Ranger
Mirror
got a
Shield.
Ballista. Mirror Shield, Ballista. That's it so far. That's why he's jungling enemy side of the map.
They got to get something. They're at a huge disadvantage without having the other tier 5s. Just at a huge disadvantage right now anyways, right?
Yep. Ballista's actually really sick on Wind Ranger, I gotta say.
It's a good thing that she got it then, but still feels like very much an uphill battle for Team Spirit here. 29K ahead on the side of Empire. Just look at this. Where's our Underlord? Hello? You need to clean up here.
Just 3 waves, it's hard.
Come on, dude.
You can only do so much.
Excuses, excuses.
They're being so gentle on the top lane. They really don't want to throw this game. They've got good control, but they're not committing to these buildings because they know that if Ursa finds the right grabs in the back line, it could go real
More
bad.
tier 5. Look at so bad. He's trying so hard. Like, okay. Oh, look at that. The Nature's Prophet just went bottom too. Careful.
So bad's just jungling.
bad. Careful.
He doesn't care.
Tashara seems like he's like, these camps are empty. I wonder who could be here.
Underlord, can he get the courier?
Nope.
Oh, it lives. Is he going to commit to it? It's hard to find now. He gets a Wind Waker
Oh.
now. Good for him.
The Tushar. Okay, all right. He decides that it's not worth the time anymore chasing after Wind Ranger.
He didn't know. I don't think he ever saw him.
He saw
To be
the
fair.
Fallen Sky. Okay, there we go. Another item. Wind Raker's now picked up. No, he definitely saw that the camps were empty. Like he kept walking forward and being
Yeah, but
oh,
but you don't
courier,
know
courier?
how long ago they got cleared.
Radiant's courier.
Ooh, that is the Axe components. But oh my God, did you see how fast Glyph showed up? So bad, just dips. Oh, I love it.
They've been looking for him for a while. Yeah. All right. So yeah, no Axe for Phoenix, but he didn't buy out or anything for that. He's just gonna have to get it delayed. Can save his allies they get gone on, so that gives them some really nice counterplay that they've been needing, certainly. It's like Wraith King is switching up an item. It's going to go for a Silver Edge to give him better catch, I guess. Maybe they'll swap Radiance out for it or something, because at this point Radiance is not that useful. It's a little damage, but doesn't do as much. Level 30 does get picked up for Earth, so that's okay. He's got that monster Earthshock now. He's going to clear the
That's
creeps.
a huge AoE. Oh my word.
Barracks are under attack. Dire's bottom barracks.
They need whatever they
Fallen
can
Sky.
get to get rid of all these creeps, right?
Yeah, they really do. I like the Fallen Sky on Ursa. It's kind of cool. Makes his initiation better, actually, because it basically guarantees a follow up to his Abyssal.
The bounce back, the drag in over here. This is not looking super great now for this Wraith King, although it does have the BKB, jumps right back up. Lotus Orb is going to get used. Oracle gets taken down during all of this. There's going to be the immediate buybacks, though, coming out as well, as they're just holding him into place. Beautiful egg, though, coming out from Eknar. We'll be able to keep him alive a bit longer. And the rest of the team, they're just not sure how they get in there. They got such a nice setup where they're able to drag back on this Wraith King, but they just didn't have the damage. They weren't able to follow up. Lincolns gets Pop Shara getting held into place here by Collapse. He'll use the refresh.
That was the Ex Machina, actually.
The Ex Machina. Oh, yes.
Did you hear the little Christmassy jingle in it when he used it?
No.
That was the difference.
Oh.
It was there. I heard it.
Can you sing it for me, Purge?
No, I can't. It was like little jingles. Like
I don't believe you because you
like
won't
that.
sing it for me.
Someone will press. There's two in this game.
the
You'll hear it
zip
again.
in. Hoping maybe they could try to
I
grab.
like that. That was sick. Like he's just trying to get them to pop BKBs or other.
Toronto Tokyo. He's in. He's rooted into place. He's hexed up. He's got the Lotus on him. The jump in, though, coming out from the earth. They're just trying to shred through Gwynblade. Are they going to be able to take down the Storm fast enough? No, they're not going to be able to do it. The root comes into place as well, and there's just so much damage being put over onto their buildings. Yatoro now forced to run away. Collapse doesn't know where to turn. They do manage to take down Toronto Tokyo, and it's a good shackle over onto the side. They need to do a little bit more damage. This Ballista is just knocking them back constantly, but the sun is coming out over here again from Gwynblade. They go, they purge him off. They turn right back around again. Can they take down the Storm? But again, he has the Aegis Purge. You need to kill him twice, and your buildings are just getting ripped apart while all of this is going on. That Windbreaker coming out, the drag back again over here on the side. Can they finish him? There's so much damage. All right, that's going to be one kill going down. There's going to be a buyback now from Toronto Tokyo. He's already here. He's trying to find another opening. He doesn't have the...
Prophet's backdooring.
So again, a Prophet. Again, yeah, we talked about this. He's got the whole kit and caboodle here. That's going to be... Oh, yeah, look at this. Collapse comes out. He's like, my buildings, stay off of them.
Chip the range barracks. Yeah, 2 sets of barracks died in that crazy fight, which is basically just 10 heroes mashing their heads together. Everybody props BKB, and Wraith King is like, I don't care, I just hit people. And that's what he did. He slapped people. There was buybacks. They've got a 28k gold advantage now. These lanes are naturally pushing, making this game even harder to play against a Nature's Prophet. We are certainly into the late game right now.
Yes, we are. And, you know, I will say, though, this Wind Ranger's starting to dish out some decent amount of damage. That when she went and she got the shackle off earlier, I think that made things turn a little bit better for the side of Spirit. But you know, this Wraith King is a veritable raid boss. It's you got to kill him too many times. You have to kill the Storm Spirit like twice, and it's still so difficult.
It is, yeah. You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see a Storm Spirit purchase this shard. It's like one of those heroes where like you never buy the shard, but he's got 9,000 gold. He's 4,000 over buyback.
You might as well.
Just buy it. Yeah. 40 attack speed increase. Hell yeah.
Oh, in the bottom lane, the Hex is up over on the Underlord, but the follow-up, Toronto Tokyo, they drag back again over here onto the Storm Spirit. He no longer has that Aegis. BKB, though, is going to be able to go teleport out. Looks like they're not going to be able to quite grab him in time. So he's happy to just go right back home again.
He already bought it,
Look
actually.
at
It just
that.
got delivered. Yo, how do they even get killed? Everybody is so tanky, actually. That just got 3,600 HP, Lincoln's Octarine Core, Mirror Shield, like... This is so difficult. Underlord's got almost 4,000 HP. All these heroes are so difficult, actually. They like just need to engage while Wraith King slaps some supports, and then they eventually take Megas. Is Megas gonna end this game? No. But it will help it a little bit end. And until buybacks come back, we're gonna see Empire cool their jets for sure.
Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because we've got quite a ways to go with the way that this game's going.
Well, actually, there's 3 dieback potentials on the Dire team versus just the Prophet. So maybe if they can take a good fight, hit those supports, they could close this game out, but for now, they're playing pretty safe.
Look at that. They can't afford to leave their bit. You got to leave Underlord there like the entire time because look at these great Adrians.
Yep.
Yatoro, yeah, look at this, the Fallen Sky. They cannot leave. That's the problem. They have to get a pick off on the Prophet at the very least.
Wow, these strong range creeps in the mid lane is going to change everything, guys. Gonna do like 60 damage instead of 41. Watch out.
Ooh-wee.
At least their melee barracks will regen.
Oh, look at that. They're hunting. It's already out of there. He's pretty fast. I don't think they're going to be able to get their hands on them. Not today. All right, who just picked up an axe?
Probably Phoenix or something. Doesn't everybody have
yeah.
one at this point?
Well,
First
it's another
Spirit's gonna get one
save,
too.
as long as you don't play like No Tail and kill Thompson. I love that tweet. I don't know why everybody's talking about Thompson. Oh, okay, False Guy, but the BKB immediately coming out from Toronto Tokyo. He tries to run back. Needs to be careful, though, Smiley. Look at that damage coming out from him. Again, but they're just so hard to kill. Yatro's he loses his courier. Aeon just getting picked up. This game's never gonna end, Purge.
It's basically all about where Wraith King is the core thing for Empire, because he's the only guy that does a lot of damage. They have all these like hard to fight into team fight items, but like in terms of raw survivability, Batrider is not very high up. He's only got 16 armor here, almost 17 armor. Storm is not really the greatest solo killer. He's got damage, but he's not going to be able to just blast through these guys with crazy items. So it all comes down to where Smiling Knight is. Can he get these pickoffs? Because he's not going to be able to buy anything else at this point.
There's just so many defensive items on the Storm. Like,
there are, yeah.
It's wild to think about. Toronto Tokyo showing himself on the wave, but no one wants to hard commit just yet.
Man, this Storm
Okay,
might
all right.
do that. Oh,
3 hits to take down so bad. No buyback on this Wind Ranger. The zip forward, though, coming out from Quiblade does have the BKB. This is jumping right on him. Aposhka just absolutely gets destroyed. Yatoro next to fall. This is a big tanky Underlord. They don't have much buyback here. It is going to be the Ursa, though, trying to get back in again. But he just gets absolutely slapped. Drag back over here from Toronto Tokyo. They know they have to try to take someone down. They're hoping it's going to be Betshara, but the Aeon just keeps him alive a little bit longer as they jump over onto the back lines. They've got a lot of damage over here onto the Storm Spirit. Can they finish him off? And Collapse, he's just too nervous. He says, we got to leave. But they leave behind. Toronto Tokyo is stuck in the tree line here. Immediately, Lincoln's gets popped. There's just too much. Down goes the Batrider. Buyback now coming out from Gwynplaine. They want to finish up this game.
Mid barracks falls as well, and he's gonna dive here almost. Nope, never mind, not diving. Hidden building, screw
All
fighting.
right, they try to go forward, jump forward immediately over onto Collapse. This bear, though, is just trapped in all of these trees, and he cannot seem to move. Although he'll be able to go, turn back around again. This is gonna be game, Purge. There's not a hope left now. Yeah, the GG gets called after 73 minutes. Team Empire will take this first game.